Just as the boy was about to be declared innocent, his father suddenly appeared in the courtroom and pointed the finger at him. John was convicted of hit and run and sentenced to 4 years in prison. Inside, he was filled with guilt and sorrow. Because John came from a wealthy family, his relatives often bribed the guards to sneak him money. But instead of helping him, this only made him a target for other inmates. They bullied him constantly, even forcing him into a washing machine, only pulling him out seconds before it spun. This life drove John to despair. When he was close to giving up, he suddenly realized something: he had to stand up again to live anew. John started training, fighting back in the prison yard. Slowly, he transformed from a victim into someone no one dared to touch. 4 years later, his father's efforts paid off, and John was released on bail. Just as he was ready to embrace a new life, his father told him terrible news. The world was on the brink of chaos. He would take John immediately to a secret underground bunker. This shelter was a place so exclusive that even ordinary billionaires weren't qualified to know of it. Only the ultra-rich could invest in it. The bunker was designed to withstand war and sustain life for 10 years. It lay nearly 1,000 meters underground, beneath a lake, built into a 45-million-year-old cavern with a natural gas field providing energy. It was divided into work zones, living quarters, and a central dome. It could house 45 families, resist nuclear blasts and magnitude 12 earthquakes, offering both safety and luxury. When John and his father entered, staff in orange uniforms collected their phones and belongings to prevent signals from being tracked. They were then given teal uniforms, each equipped with devices to monitor radiation and air quality. Every resident wore a wristband tracking vital signs. Doors opened with a touch of the hand, no keys needed. The bunker also had an AI system, capable of solving problems, even changing the view in the windows. Inside, John reunited with his mother and grandmother. To his shock, he also saw the family of his deceased girlfriend. Her younger sister, Asiya, and their father were dining. Seeing John, they were stunned, then filled with resentment. His hit and run had killed their loved one. Jimmy forced down his grief and greeted John politely. Mike was sincere enough that Jimmy couldn't explode, but Asiya's eyes burned with hatred. She had been extremely close to her sister Annie, and she refused to forgive John. As the two families sat together at dinner, Asiya directly confronted him about the crash. Her rage centered on the fact that John had abandoned Annie after the accident. Tensions escalated, just shy of breaking into conflict when staff entered to interrupt. Shirley, the head of the bunker, addressed everyone. The situation above was worsening, and no one knew when the war would end. Though safe here, residents needed to care for their mental health. They should help one another, not fight. No matter how rich you were outside, she warned. Here you serve yourselves. If you refuse to follow the rules, there's only one outcome: you'll be sent back to the surface. Later, John approached Asiya, begging her to let go of her hatred. He gave her Annie's phone. Watching the videos of Annie with John, Asiya was overwhelmed with grief. Jimmy stormed back to his room, seething with rage but forced to keep up appearances. To vent, he went to the dining hall. Suddenly, the bunker shook violently. Lights flickered, panic spread. Announcements ordered everyone to the dome for safety. Asiya grabbed the phone and ran after Jimmy. Pushing through the terrified crowd, she found him at the bar. Together, they witnessed John's family save her father. They tried to reach the main exit, but the doors were jammed shut. Forcing them open, they entered the elevator. Then it began to plunge uncontrollably. Luckily, it stopped at the dome level. They stepped out cautiously, as the wall of screens displayed global news. A nearby military base had just been struck by a nuclear missile. The bunker north of the base had felt the shockwave. Residents stared at the screens in terror. Shirley appeared again, urging calm. The surveillance feed showed the bridge to the bunker intact. For now, they were safe. Then came breaking news. Nuclear strikes were hitting cities worldwide. As one screen after another went black, fear surged again. These billionaires suddenly realized, in the face of war, they were just as fragile as anyone else. Jimmy finally broke. He confessed the truth. After John's accident, he had told his son to flee the scene. When Jimmy arrived, Annie was already gone. To protect John, he staged the crash as an accident. When John was nearly acquitted, Jimmy appeared in court to accuse him, telling the judge he had tried to stop John from driving, even taking his keys. But John had snatched them back, leading to the tragedy. Jimmy explained he had realized in that moment, his lie would only corrupt his son. John had to face the consequences. John's mother broke down in anguish. Both families were consumed with anger. Before the fight could erupt, Shirley returned with urgent news. The antennas were damaged, cutting them off from the outside. Engineers would attempt repairs. Through cameras, residents would witness the surface. Excited, they gathered to watch. Engineers in protective suits entered the tunnel, riding the elevator upward. At 32 Mercury inside, the temperature rose as they ascended. When the hatch opened, yellow-gray dust filled the air. The antenna above was in ruins. Outside, temperature 58 tomb, radiation climbing steadily. The dust itself was radioactive. Without protection, a person would die in minutes. A burned-out car lay nearby, shocking the wealthy residents below. Radiation spiked, the suits close to failing. As the engineer rushed to repair the antenna, the heat soared to 84 degrees. He tried to secure it, but his glove fused to the metal pipe. Struggling, he pried it off with a screwdriver, stumbling as the video feed flickered. He barely staggered back into the bunker. His glove was melted, his body fatally irradiated. Staff quickly shut off the feed, fearing the residents would panic at the sight. Shirley sorrowfully declared the mission a failure. The outside was uninhabitable. They were trapped. The luxurious bunker had become a golden prison. With a solemn face, Shirley returned to the control room. But once inside, a smile crept across her lips. The staff gathered around. She announced that all the billionaires had fully believed the story. As they cheered, the camera slowly rose back to the surface. The world outside remained perfectly calm. There had been no war at all.